Joe, thanks for joining us, or thanks for welcoming us to your gym here. Tell us where we are, tell us what we're doing here.
So this is First Legion Fighters Gym in Leicester, and this is a boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, Thai boxing gym.
And you come here regular?
Yes, I'm in here 4 times a week, 3 for boxing and 1 for jiu-jitsu.
We've just seen your session, and of course we can see you now. It looks quite tiring.
Yeah, it's very intense, and I love it. You've got to push yourself when you're in the gym, and the coaches make sure you put in the work, and I just enjoy being in here.
And you said to me that the feeling when you walk out of here, it's just a great feeling. We know that with exercise it makes you feel so good, and you're evident that the feeling when you walk out of here, especially on a day like today and it's sunny, it's a great feeling. Yeah,
and it's even better when it's in the morning. I come in usually an 8 o'clock session or a 9 o'clock session, and you walk out of here 9:30, 10:30, maybe on a Sunday morning, and everyone's had a nice lie-in, and you've had a good start to the day, and you're ready to beat the world.
And even after a Saturday night?
Even after a Saturday night, if you've had a couple of drinks, it's a hard one to get up to, but yeah, it's worth it.
Why do you do it? What makes you come here then at first thing in the morning and box and do jiu-jitsu?
Firstly, fitness. It's good to keep sort of healthy and fit, and I think that's good for your mind, especially when you go back to snooker. It's good to be able to have that endurance and to be concentrated for a long time. I think the physical fitness helps with the mental side a lot, and I like learning. I like learning different new things, hard things, and boxing and fighting in general is such a hard thing to master, and there's so many different elements and so many different techniques to learn.
Have you always been active as a kid, growing up when you were younger?
Yeah, I've played football from sort of 4 to 10, stopped that for pool, turned into snooker, always sort of been interested in fitness, gym, football, everything really, to be honest. I just love, I'm an active person.
Running around the back garden as a kid then, playing football, and you mentioned to me as well you play five-a-side regularly? Yeah, five-a-side on a Wednesday night, and then Sunday night we sort of get a few mates and play down the five-a-side pitch as well, yeah. What's your earliest memory of being involved in sport then as a kid?
That'd be football. My dad ran the football team that I played in. Had a good decent side. I think I started when I was 4 or 5. And I just remember, going to tournaments, and I think it was Bognor Regis a long time ago. And it's just a good weekend away.
What position were you?
I was a defender.
Okay. Did you fancy yourself any good?
Yeah, I was steady. I think I was good. You probably have to ask the people that I played with if I'm good. But no, I put in the work. I try, and I never want to lose. So.
Well, we see that when you play your snooker, and you mentioned this helps you with your snooker. Just go into that a bit more detail then. How does the fitness keeping on top of that, you say the physical benefits, but also the mental benefits, how does that help you when you're practicing snooker, but also playing on the tour throughout the season?
So like I said sort of a minute ago, you're having the endurance and the mental sort of the concentration in this sort of sport. You've got to be so concentrated all the time. If something goes wrong, not only do you get it wrong, it might hurt. So you've got to be switched on, and I think that combined with taking your mind off snooker, it's a different way of thinking, a different way of being sharp, and there's different elements that you can bring to snooker. And just being in for a long match, for example, sometimes you can be in a match for 5-6 hours, and just being fit physically can help you concentrate throughout the whole match and never have a lapse in concentration.
I was going to say, have there been times throughout your career, especially last season, it was a really good season for you, where you're sat there in your chair, it's a long match, and you can see your opponent across the table, and you can maybe see him yawning a bit or twitching, and you're thinking, I can lean on my fitness. I know I can last the distance here.
Yeah, definitely. I think I remember in the Scottish Open, I think it was I can't remember who I played, but went on quite late on, midnight I think it was. And Des, who comes with me to my tournaments, sort of my granddad, he said to me, you know, because I'll keep fit and everything. He says, you'll be fine, you know, you'll be fine. But I don't think who I'm playing will be. And I knew it deep down that I could go till 8 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't really that bothered. I can sort of push through it, and I think it sort of got to my opponent a bit more tired, on the tired side, and I managed to win that match and go on to the final.
And I suppose that's one less thing to think about, isn't it? You're suddenly now 100% concentrated actually on the snooker, on the shot, rather than having to worry about the rest of the fitness side of things.
Yeah, you can be 100% concentrated for longer. You know, it doesn't feel like you're 100% concentrated because it's a bit of a breeze, and it doesn't feel like you're giving everything into it because you've done that. Yeah, I do that in the morning, I do that at night, I do that. It's just sort of a normal routine for me, and I think my body, you know, gets used to it.
You seem very relaxed about it. You seem very relaxed in general. That was one of the things that pundits and spectators, fans mentioned a lot last season, actually, was how calm you seem walking around the table. Is perhaps this more intense arena, you said the box and the jiu-jitsu, is that perhaps how you're feeling on the inside, maybe? You're slightly more stressed inside when you're playing snooker and you're calm on the outside, or are you just generally a pretty calm guy?
No, I'm not, to be honest, I'm never really stressed, you know, angry. I never really get upset, really.
So this isn't
quite
letting out your
emotionless,
anger?
maybe, if you look at it in a weird way. But I think it does help if you can push the boundaries in like a controlled environment like this. You know, you can get your anger out, but it's controlled anger. It just makes you have maybe a different perspective in different situations, you know, regarding snooker or anything like that. It doesn't affect you nowhere near as much.
In what way, different perspectives?
I just think maybe getting hit in the face is a good example. If you do something wrong and you get hit in the face, that's an instant sort of, you know, it gets you riled up, and you know you want to get them back, and being able to be calm in that moment and controlled and not be overly wild, or because you know you might get hit more. The best thing you can do is to just take it. I did something wrong. You made a mistake, and make sure you don't do it again.
and I suppose when you get, say, hit here, you have to be calm, you have to focus. When you get hit on a snooker table, metaphorically, as in someone maybe knocks in a long pot, you know, and it's a bit of a crushing blow. Likewise, you have to stay calm, don't you?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, you left that shot, and he went for it, and he got it. You can't change that. It's happened. It's gone. You can only look back and maybe find out what you didn't do right, or maybe you made a mistake, and it was technically, whether it was just a bad shot, the wrong shot. I think there's always a way to make it better.
We won't see you punching the table anytime soon.
No.
Okay. Last season, touched on it, career best for you. Really, really, really great season. Scottish Open runner-up, 18th on the 1 year list as well. Reflecting now, having had a bit of time to reflect on it, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's an amazing season. A bit of a disappointing end of the World. You know, I would have loved to have qualified, and that would have been a nice icing on the cake to the season. But no, it's a great season. A final, semi-final, quarter-final. Next step is to lift a trophy.
Just on the Worlds, were you watching it? Presumably, you're watching it and then thinking, oh, yeah, I'd love to be there. You're frustrated, probably more than anything.
No, I let things go quite quickly. You know, I lost to Higginson, and he played phenomenal. You know, fair play to him. It just wasn't my day, and
because it was weird having watched you all season, and fans would probably say the same. Having watched you progress so much over the season, it felt like Joe O'Connor should be at the World Championship, if you know what I mean, on form and how you played. Yeah,
and I didn't play bad. You know, like I say, Andrew played phenomenal in that match, and he almost didn't do anything wrong. So on paper, I think he deserved to win. I maybe made a couple of mistakes in the match, and maybe that could have got me over the line, but I can't look back and say I played rubbish. You know, I played solid. but sometimes if someone plays exceptional, you know, it's their day. But no, I won't look back on it too much. You know, I make sure I practice how I did last year. You know, I changed a little slight things in the way I practice and what I practice, and it seemed to work. And I just keep doing that, and hopefully that can take me to the next step.
What were those changes?
I'll reveal my secrets. No, I'll just sort of.
But are they more sort of tactical or mindset?
No, just
technical. Or?
It was more practicing certain shots. In particular, sort of maybe like a shot with side or something that I'm maybe not necessarily bad at, but just not comfortable. And was just sort of routined, you know, being comfortable in playing that shot, and just a certain part of the table that's common, you know, say playing off the cushion when people play safe, and just silly things like that don't really look like they're doing much, but if you can feel, you know, more confident on the shot, you've got 10 times more chance of putting it or playing a good shot.
Yeah. What was different about last season from your perspective? Not perhaps in terms of, say, practice, you just mentioned there what you changed, but in terms of how you felt at tournaments and events, because clearly you had lots of new experiences last season, you know, in a final, you know, getting far in the Players' Champs as well. New experiences for you. How did that feel?
It was great. I tried not to sort of make it as too big for myself. I wanted to stay in the moment, and you know, at the end of the day, I didn't win the tournament, but I was there to win. You know, I get to a semi-final, great. Get to a final, great. But I wasn't just there to make up the other person in the final. I'm there to win. You know, so I tried to sort of push it aside, and I, you know, I got a job to do, and I've been practicing all year for, you know, this one moment. Don't get too caught up in the friends and the family and you know, people saying how well you've played, and just try and put it to the side and carry on with the job.
I suppose it's easier said than done, though, isn't it? You say these were new experiences for you. You say friends and family asking for tickets, perhaps.
Yeah.
At the latter stage of tournaments, how difficult actually was that to do?
It was. It's a weird one. Obviously, it's a new experience, and you want everyone to experience it with you. But I think the best way to do it is, and it is hard to, you know, it's hard to tell people, but maybe let the tournament play out first. As soon as it's done, you can celebrate on what's happened, because you can't change it then. You know, if you celebrate the semi-final too much, you won't prepare for the final. And I just think that's the better way to look at it. And yes, it's nice. You get the family messages, family texts. You know, well done, blah blah blah. They're fine. You know, little ones. They're nice to give you a bit of a boost. But I think it's just the way is to push it aside and reflect on it once the tournament's over.
You said the next thing for you now is just to get your hand on the title, on a trophy, bit of silverware. How do you go about doing that?
Not losing. I think that would be a good start.
And what does that look like to you? Because of course everyone would say that.
Yeah,
you know, how do you try and ensure that you're not going to lose as many games as perhaps you did in those crunch matches last year?
I don't know. Carry on practicing the way I sort of practiced I practiced all year very similar, but like I say, the few little changes that I did mid-season, I think it was, and it seemed to have a big effect straight away. Whether that's a coincidence, whether that was coming anyway or not, just keep practicing hard, and I know it's coming. I just need to keep believing and just keep going.
Of course, 18th on the 1 year list last year, so that means if you have another good year this year, there's a chance there of not only breaking into the top 32 and staying there, but possibly even the top 16 as well. Yeah,
I think winning a tournament would help with that.
It would.
Yeah. I don't really set myself goals. Winning a tournament's always a goal for everybody. I'm trying to win every tournament I enter, so it doesn't really matter to me.
I look back and turned pro in 2018, and I can't imagine you'd have experienced China too much.
I did have a couple of invites while I was a top-up on the Q School list. I think I went to Wuxi and Beijing, I think it was, the China Open.
But of course, this year with 3 events back on the calendar, back on the tour, that must be something you're really looking forward to.
Yeah, the great tournaments. The travelling's not so great, but no, it's a good change of environment. Nice venues, big venues, and the prize money has always been pretty good in China, so it's always a good tournament to qualify for.
And I suppose for players and for everyone involved, it will feel like a world snooker tour, won't it, going out to Asia more regularly?
Yeah, travelling again. Obviously, we've missed it for a couple of years now, and yeah, no, it's good to have them back.
Will you manage to keep on top of your gym routine and your workout, your fitness whilst you're out there?
I won't be doing much on the plane if I qualify. No, that's probably...
Do you press ups down the middle aisle?
Down the aisle, yeah, I'll be doing sprints. No, I think I'll give it a miss for that week.
Okay, well, hopefully your body won't then take too long to get back into it when you return. But of course, new season just around the corner, looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully I can start the way I ended. Well, not the last tournament, but a few before that.
Another season like last year, Joe, and I'm sure it will be a very good one for you. Thanks for inviting us into your gym today, and all the best for the upcoming season.
No worries, thanks.